Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Rogers, and I am so honored and thrilled to be connecting with you all today here on this live stream. I have another important topic that I want to talk about with you all in the aspect of taking your power back, right? Because let's face it, we all, you all, I do, we all want to look and feel our best, right? But over half of our United States population is currently living with at least one chronic physical, mental, or emotional health issue daily. So people are living longer, but not healthier and happier. So, what's the problem? The problem is that we've been trained to give too much power away to unhealthy habits, behaviors, self sabotaging issues, unsupportive relationships, to doctors, and so many other things, and not enough to ourselves. And I'm here to help you transform your health and well being and create the vibrant, radiant health and well being of your dreams and desires. And I believe that anyone can create that vibrant health and well being that they dream of if they stop giving their power away. So I'm here to help you transform your health and well being, create the life of your dreams. And the way that I'm here to help you do that is to help you stop giving all your power away. And there are an infinite number of ways in which we give our power away. And in my last live stream, I just gave a basic introduction to this concept of power and how we give our power away, and how by reclaiming our power, that is the key to achieving the transformation that we want, to becoming that next level version of ourselves that we all want to be. So today, I want to talk with you all about giving our power away to food. So it's Thursday night, 8 o'clock. It's been a busy day. Kids had activities going on. You and your partner both had things going on. And now you're heading home for the evening and you're starving. And you didn't take time to think about what you're going to make tonight. And now you're so hungry that going home and taking the time to actually put something together sounds like the worst idea in the world, because then you actually have to wait for the time it will take for you to make the food. And now you're so hungry that you're kind of getting cranky and you don't really want to go home and take the time to think about it, put it together. And so, oh, there's the drive through that you just happen to be getting near. And so in you go to the drive through lane and you get whatever you get at your favorite fast food place if you go to fast food. And that's what you do. But here's the thing, even if you're going to the fast food line, we all know that it's not healthy for us. So, in that moment, if living a vibrant, healthy, and well life is your priority and your goal, then in that moment, what you did was choose to give your power away. And we're going to talk today about how you chose to give your power away, if that situation resonates with you or sounds familiar. And my guess is it does, because I've been there in the past. I know many of you have. And I think we all could even reflect on experiences when we were growing up as children, when, mom and dad probably took us to fast food on the way home from some kind of extracurricular activity. And, it was like a treat. So we didn't really think it was that harmful. But let's talk about how we give our power away to food. We all have cravings, we all have unhealthy habits related to food, or at least some of us used to. Then there's the junk food, there's highly processed food, there's alcohol, there's fast food. And a lot of people will even create stories around certain types of food groups, right? Cheese, dairy, bread, some of those things tend to be really popular foods, eggs. And people will even say things. I've even heard clients say this over the years, like, well, I can't do that because I'm a cheese eater. I can't do that because I'm a bread person. And I just want you to start to reflect on these things as I share them and just notice if any of them resonate with you because you notice that you have similar tendencies or that you've observed them in people in your life, whether it was in the past or in your current present. But what's happening when we're doing that? When we're having cravings, when we're just reaching for the junk food, when we're just grabbing the bag of chips, when we're just going to the fast food drive-through window, when we're doing those things, we are giving our power away because, of course, in that moment, now we're taking an action that is not in alignment with our vibrant health and well being. Because the thing about health and well being is that it's not a state or a destination that we're going to. And I think that's a common misconception that I can just do X, Y, and Z healthy habit for a temporary period of time, and then I can achieve what I want, and then I can go back to doing what I want. And the thing is that it's just a myth. Your health and well being is a constant process of co creation. You are an active, responsible participant in it. So, any imbalances, discomforts, symptoms, illnesses that surface on your journey, somewhere along the way, you helped to co create that reality. And so the foods that we choose each and every day matter. They matter a lot. And each choice we make every time we choose what we're going to eat is a decision we're making that's either going to align with our vibrant health and well being, with our ability to heal. If you're someone who is currently healing, which we all are in some capacity at any given time, because life is a constant process from birth to death of healing, of learning, healing, growing, evolving. So when we give our power away to those foods, we're doing something so much deeper than we're really realizing in the moment, right? We'll make an excuse like, it's late, I'm just hungry, it's just one time. I deserve a cheat day. But why would you cheat on your health and your well-being when it's the most valuable thing you have? Because everything we do, everything we build, our health, our well-being, and all the beautiful things that we all desire, a wonderful career, a beautiful family, lots of love and positivity in our relationships, they come on the foundation of our vibrant health and well-being. And we are the mirror. So it all starts with us. So when you're giving your power away to cravings, junk food, unhealthy eating habits, highly processed food, maybe you have a habit of just not eating until dinner time. That is so harmful for your adrenal glands. Maybe you have a habit of skipping meals, skipping dinner. Maybe you have a habit of binge eating or emotional eating. Let's start to normalize talking about all of these things. There's no shame in any of them. And creating guilt and shame for yourself or beating yourself up for not having what you might consider to be ideal healthy eating habits that align with your most vibrant health and well-being, that's okay. Creating the awareness is step one in making any kind of transformation. And that's what we're talking about today. And hopefully I can help raise your awareness. So first, let me highlight just a couple of things that I think are helpful when we talk about giving our power away to food, because we can bring some humor into the conversation. So let's just talk about junk food, for example. Junk food, fast food. There's actually a fascinating series, I believe it's on the History Channel, called The Food That Built America. And it's quite interesting because you learn through watching this series that it's actually through the industrialization of first the United States of America and then globally that we moved away from eating whole natural foods, eating what we were growing in the earth, in our own yards, on our farms, at our homes. Because living that way as urbanization was happening was not a convenient way of life for the folks who were moving into the cities. And so people started to create ways of accessing food that would be convenient for those who were moving into urban areas. And so fast food was born. The cheeseburger was born. McDonald's was born. Cheetos were born. But 100 years ago, there was no such thing as Cheetos. There was actually, get this, no such thing as cheese. Can you believe it? Right? Can you believe it? In the early 1900s, not all that long ago, there was no cheese. And spoiler alert, people were perfectly fine without it. They were doing well. All of these things are human creations that have come into existence over just the past century. And now they exist in society, and society has evolved to bring those, integrate those ways of being into our lives and daily living. And it really wasn't until after the implementation of things like fast food and these other, what we now consider junk food, we didn't know at the time that these things were unhealthy. We didn't know when we were creating these things that they were going to potentially be a food and fuel source for future chronic health issues. It wasn't until later that we started, through science and research, as doctors making observations in clinical practices, that there may be a connection and an association. And this is where epidemiology comes in, because we started to take a look from an epidemiological perspective. And let's say, because we wanted to start to observe, are there associations, right? It is hard to prove causality. So in science, we always just start with, is there an association that is statistically significant? And so we started doing research later on in the 1900s and more in the recent past that showed us that these things were creating health problems, not promoting health and well-being. So just keep that in mind, that 100 years ago, these things didn't even exist. So when you're giving your power away to them, what you're actually doing is making the food a part of your identity. So if you're somebody that really loves certain food groups like dairy, eggs, and gluten, which I will share with you right here in this live, I'm going to give you some tangible takeaways that I would give to my clients if you were sitting with me right now in a consultation. Dairy, eggs, and gluten, lots of people love those food groups. They used to be my favorites. However, dairy, eggs, and gluten are the most mucus producing foods. In addition to that, they also are the three primary food and fuel sources for the pathogens that are at the true root cause of a majority of the physical, emotional, and mental chronic health issues that the entire population is suffering from today. So, when we say things like, well, I'm a cheese eater or I'm a bread eater, have you ever caught yourself saying something like that? Well, I'm a beer drinker. Well, are you really? Is that really who you are? That's it? You're just a beer drinker. Well, I have to say to you that you're wrong. You're actually not a cheese eater. You are an infinite, cosmic being. That's what you are. You're not the food you eat. But when we make them a part of our identity is what drives our behaviors, our actions, our habits, and therefore ultimately our lifestyle. So when we make them a part of our identity, it's hard to disconnect from them, and we are completely giving our power away to those foods, completely giving the power away. Because we are something so much greater than that. We are something so much bigger and more powerful than that. And the other thing that's happening when we're giving our power away to food is that oftentimes we're trading a short term satisfaction for long term health and happiness, right? Because let's face it, people have cravings. And those cravings have all evolved for different reasons. And there are bigger whys that are underlying those cravings that can be resolved. Other ways that you may be giving your power away. But ultimately, when you're trading short term satisfaction for long term health and happiness, you're giving your power away to the food. Because it's in that moment that you're just thinking, well, I don't care. I've got to eat this piece of pizza because it's just my favorite thing and I have to have it. So I want you to consider that. All of the different ways that you give your power away to food. Even when you choose, if you've got two options in front of you, let's say in your refrigerator you've got some fresh fruit, and then in the cupboard you've got a box of fruit snacks. There's a choice, right? The fresh fruit, it's healing, it's healthy, it's full of nutrients and healthy benefits for your body and its organs and systems. The fruit snack, not so much. But which do you choose? So as you navigate your days coming up, and even today, I want you to just move through your day and start to notice how your relationship with food has evolved over the years. Because truthfully, Mother Earth and nature have provided to us everything we need to heal, to be vibrantly healthy and well. So we didn't need the Cheetos or the fruit snacks or the potato chips. We needed the apples, the fresh potatoes coming out of Mother Earth to nourish us. And over the course of each of our lifetimes, we've all developed a relationship with food. Some of this is cultural, right? A lot of us I grew up in an Italian and Polish family. Food is a very important part of those cultures. But there are ways to still enjoy your cultural love or connection to food without making it your identity and completely giving your power away to it. My family and I found some healthier ways to make some of our favorite things. I'm Italian. I don't eat gluten, dairy, or eggs, but I still make spaghetti and meatballs. Not every day, but I can still have my favorite thing when I want to, because I know how to make it in a way that aligns with my higher self, my most vibrant state of health and well-being. So as you move through your day today, just start to notice, maybe the next time you have a snack or a meal or take a drink of water, what's your relationship with food like? Is it a healthy relationship? And what ways do you interact with food? How do you use food? Do you use it to comfort yourself emotionally, or do you use it to target the root causes of your health issues? Do you use it to fuel your body for optimal health and well-being? right? These are conscious choices we have opportunities to make. And I think food is such a challenging topic for so many of us. And I think that each of us, myself included, have had our own relationship and battles with food until we've come to our own understanding of what our relationship with it needs to look like. And I think we don't often think about the fact that we actually do have a relationship with food. So, what does your relationship with food look like now, and how do you want it to look to support your vibrant health and well being? How does it need to look to help you transform into the next level of yourself that you're becoming? We always have a choice. We can choose to use food to fuel us, to heal us, to create the vibrant health and well being that we all desire, or it can work against us. But ultimately, the choice is ours and our responsibility alone to make. So, will you choose to give your power away to food? Or will you stand in your power and use the food in your life to empower yourself? Sending you all so much love and healing energy. I can't wait to hear any comments or questions or takeaways that this brings up for you. What does this bring up? I want to know. Let's talk about it. Let's chat. And I look forward to connecting with you all heart to heart again soon.